One of the most important aspects about drawing is understanding what a contour is. While I was in school, I actually did not quite understand the fullness of this term, the entirety of contours. I thought the contour was only where the edge of our figure meets the background. Because we do contour line drawings, we do blind contour line drawings, I always just thought that the contour was the edge of our figure in the background. It wasn't until much later when I started working from life a lot more that I started to understand where contours were also within the form. And something that also blew my mind was that certain contours are created by forms. And so the edge of an object going into the distance, this edge has a different contour than this edge. And that's because this is an entire form, whereas this is an entire form. And so this form coming across and then this form coming across, they actually enter into the background at different angles. And those angles that they come in at, this right here being an angle that is a slower slope versus, say, the nose here, this angle. So this form right through here is a steeper, more of a drop off, clean edge form, which would give us a sharper edge versus this edge. So sharp versus softer. And so each of these contours, when it is the outside edge of our figure, has conceptually different edge conditions, meaning the speed of the slope as it enters into the background. And I talk a lot about this in my classes. I just released a video on Monday of this week talking about what a notan is. And so a notan is an indiscriminate way of developing our forms and our contours. So here's a notan that is, there's no attention to how each form moves in and out of space within a notan. A notan is something that is completely flat, right? And so all of the edges within our notan here, right here, right here that we were just talking about are all the same, right? They're all hard-edged. And that's fine for the very beginning of our drawing because we're basically contour mapping our paintings or our drawings. And we do this from life by doing what we call a block in. So a notan is a block in, but with more value from light to dark. And so what's really interesting then is how do we get from our simple indiscriminate edged notan here to something that has form and subtlety and atmosphere around the figure, and understanding that concept of how these forms turn and understanding the form of the internal contours will help us. Now, what a contour is, very simple definition, is that it is basically the borders of a form. So our form here, the borders of this form. And a notan is even a simplified, more larger based idea of a form, because we can break this form into other forms as well that the notan doesn't quite handle, right? The notan is just our large mass shapes versus a sense of a contour for a form. I like to think of it almost as if it's the states of the United States, right? Where you have the border between New Jersey and New York State, which is really interesting if you go to northern New Jersey, and the border is literally, you can just cross the street and you're in New York, across the street you're in New Jersey. But so our borders are essentially the contours. So the contours are actually internal within our mass that we are painting, our portrait, our figure, our still lives. anything that has a form that is taking up space within our painting has air wrapped around it, and thus has form wrapped around it. It's created in 3 dimensions. And so simplistically, the way that we want to create form, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit in an upcoming lesson, is this idea of visual interruptions within painting and drawing and the subtlety between forms. But here we're going to talk about this idea of cross-contouring. So cross-contouring is the next concept that I think is also very, very important to understand. And that's, how do we merge one form into another form without it looking like a no-tan, right? Without this idea of hard edges that kind of separate our sense of form. And when we hit a line that's a hard edge, how that stops our eye from going across it and then creating a subtlety that is more lifelike. So if we go back to the painting, you can see where our edges are, but then the subtlety that is going across these forms, right? And you can see within my strokes that I use when I paint and draw to get that subtlety, I am thinking about the subtlety of the forms and how they unify, going with the sense of the form. I'm going to show you guys a quick lesson video of me breaking apart the no-tan for this drawing of Raven and how we use this idea of cross-contouring to create form. I replace my no-tan reference with the full value reference. The reference is life-size, same size as my drawing. I keep them 1-to-1. It's much easier to have your reference the exact same size as what your drawing is going to be, just for measuring angles and seeing everything to be accurate. Here I have them side by side. And you can see how I'm using the white chalk to go over top of edges of those contours. So I'm using the white chalk to break the borders of our contours of the forms. So in essence, going cross contour. Using the eraser, I'm taking that edge off a little bit. We don't want these edges to break the continuity of the viewer's eye as they see the subtlety of the light fading, the light coming across the form into the shadow. And so the eraser, I use a lot of the erasers to erase those borders of those lines. I know that they're there, but it's going to be one form typography. No, a form is not just a flat area. A form is, by definition, has a 3-dimensionality form to it. And what's interesting about the human body is that everything within inside of us, bones, muscles, blood, fluids, fatty tissues, are all pushing out on our skin. And so everything has this convexity to it, which means that everything is pushing out. So everything has a very subtle, unique form. There's no such thing as a flat plane on our body. We used the flat planes in the very beginning to think of things in terms of just large masses, but then we want to take those planes and break them into the subtleties of how forms turn into one another, and how there's areas that have bone points, like the brow ridge here that I'm working on. Cutting it, cross contouring that edge right there, softening that edge. Now I'm using an eraser here, cutting across that edge where the hair is going to overlap with the forehead. A lot of people tend to make the hair just a hard edge up against the forehead, but no, there's a subtlety to the movement into the side of the hair. Using a soft brush to soften everything. Thinking about the subtle forms of the nose and the alar cartilage of the nose. So as we move forward a little bit here, I'm getting the subtleties of the forms now within the orbital cavity and the eyes. My pencil is always moving on form, knitting across that sense of the form as it turns on that cheek. As it pulls forward, and the lines that are coming out of the eye is makeup, so I want to keep those. But you can see how my hand is moving with that sense of form, unifying how this part of the nose blends into the cheek and gently moves into the orbital cavity to create form for that eyeball and the structure of the eye. And as I go with this white chalk, which is a General's white charcoal pencil, I'm looking for highlights now a little bit on the canthus, underplane of the what would be the bottom part of the eyelid, and then softening it out with a blending stump. And so I use the blending stump as a drawing tool, as well as the eraser, as well as the white chalk. We're going to fast forward here a little bit more. And as we work on the forehead, cutting across that contour for the hair again, and then thinking about how the contour of the forehead is moving forward into the light. Now, some of my lines go lengthwise, some of them go up and down vertically with the form. It all depends. If I have a specular highlight, I tend to go across the form to get a specular highlight so that it kind of jumps out a little bit more, has a little bit more vibrancy to it, and a little bit of a dissonant element to the drawing. Thinking about the softness of that edge of the lower lip and chin. To really capture a sense of subtlety. I hope this really explains what I was talking about with this idea of cross-contouring and creating the subtlety by knitting one form into another within our drawing. How to go from a no-tan to something that's full of form. Thanks so much for watching. If you got something out of this video, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps this channel to keep growing. I also want to give a huge thank you to everyone who's been supporting the channel over on Patreon and here on YouTube. Your comments, shares, and encouragement really keep this community going and growing. If you want to dive deeper with full-length lessons and behind-the-scenes stuff from my studio, check out the Patreon community with the link in the description. It's been amazing to connect with so many artists over there. And if you're interested in learning to draw and paint with me in person, I have an ongoing list of upcoming in-person workshops. Just scan the QR code you see on the screen for all the details. I'm now streaming a live drawing session every Wednesday morning where we'll study history, composition, and techniques behind some of my favorite works from art history. It all starts at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. I'm in Albuquerque, New Mexico, right here on YouTube. So grab some coffee, bring your sketchbook, and come hang out with me. It's a fun, low-pressure way to draw together and dive deep into some really great art in real time. Thanks again for being part of this journey with me. Paint well, and I'll see you in the next video. Or even better, I'll see you guys live on Wednesday morning. Take care.